Hey host, and welcome to this month's e-training. I'm really excited, and actually, I'm gonna be really honest, a little scared of this month's topic. As you know, we asked all of y'all, what is one thing that you would like to be answered, or a topic that you'd like to be covered? And we actually had about 2 or 3 groups with this response. Okay. Now today's topic is we're gonna talk about is how to handle what to do when a awkward or strange issue all of a sudden comes up during the group meeting. Not in your group overall, but during the actual meeting. You've got everything planned, the snacks are there, you're in the middle of the video discussion or whatever's going on, and something unexpected happens with one of your members. So today we're gonna attempt to do just that, just to answer that for you guys, and hopefully this will be a help. And thank you for all of you all who told us what are some topics or questions that you want answered. And if you think of any more, let your coach know, let me know. We love to cover as many topics as possible. So, what do we mean by awkward or unusual issues? Well, simply put, if somebody is sharing something off topic, let's say you're talking about a video in a book or specifically, and all of a sudden somebody brings up something totally different, sharing something too intimate or very heavy like suicide, abuse, drugs, addiction stuff, once again, that you may not feel very equipped to answer. Also, too, if anybody's being distracting, okay, if somebody feels like they're being delivered from something, that can get kind of loud and kind of, just kind of dramatic, and just any kind of interruptions like that. And the first thing that I want us to keep in mind is that, remember, we're dealing with real people with real issues, okay? Each and every week, or every 2 weeks, or every month, whenever y'all meet, you got real people going to you, and they got real issues. They got real marriages, real kids, real schools, real jobs, real issues. Okay, so let's go and keep that in mind from the get-go. Okay, so and I know there's no cookie cutter way to kind of address every issue. Okay, I'm not saying that every time something like this happens, this is a cookie cutter way. I just want to provoke our thoughts a little bit and just kind of remind us of some things that we should be doing, whether there is or is not an issue. Okay, we always want to be prepared for that. So so today I want to talk about what to do during, okay, what to do prior, and also too what to do after the situation. So let's go ahead and dive into that. So first, we need to prepare for anything, everything and anything, okay? So before, and I know this is gonna sound like kind of, okay, duh, George, it's pray, okay? Pray. We should be praying and just not get consumed with everything that we need to do. Clean the house, get the snacks, get the food, send the emails, text everybody, whatever you got to do. Those are good things, but those should not be the priority, okay? We should invite him to our group. That should be the first person that we should be inviting, okay? I kind of look at it like Martha and Mary, okay? In Luke 10:38 through 42. Martha, okay, was very much like, I gotta clean this, I gotta cook that, I gotta do this, I gotta do all these different things. And Mary sat at his feet. So that's what we should be doing, okay? Yes, cleanliness and getting everything ready, those are good things, okay? And please don't hear that they're not. But sitting at his feet, inviting him, okay? And saying, okay, Lord, I need you for this next hour or 2 hours or whatever the length of your group is, okay? Invite him first, okay? When the unusual issue arises, keep focused on the reason you and the group are there, okay? Proverbs 4:25 says this: keep your eyes straight ahead, ignore all sideshow distractions. Now, I'm not saying to ignore the question or even what's happening, okay? Don't hear that. What I'm saying is that don't lose focus of what you believe God is leading that group to do, even in that very meeting. Okay. Now, people get into politics and sports and the nation and all these different things that have nothing to do with the group. Okay. Let's not get sidetracked by those things. So, and it very may be that you'll have to stop what you're doing, okay, for that group meeting and simply pray, okay? There was a lady years ago, and she suffered from chronic back pain. In fact, it was so bad that she was facing a very serious back surgery, and we knew that. She was probably about a week or two away from that, but poor thing could hardly move. But she made an effort to be at church and at group each and every week. This one night, she came into group. She could barely move. She could barely get out of the car. She could barely sit down, walk, or anything like that. Now, I am horrible at making sure 100% is prepared, okay? So I thank God for my spouse. Litka is fantastic because she gets all that stuff done. So now, I had everything ready. I had the video ready to go. I had the books ready to go. I had my questions prepared. I had prayed. I was ready, okay? Well, that night, God had other plans, okay? We put aside all the video stuff, all the workbooks, all the questions, and for that hour and a half that we were there in that meeting, we just prayed for her. We laid hands on her, and we prayed for her. That's what God was trying to show us that night. That's what He was showing us. So, and that may be the issue. I'm not saying it's every time, but just things to think about. Once again, this isn't a cookie cutter. This isn't a cookie cutter answer, okay? Now, how do we handle it? Well, if it's something on topic, if you guys are talking about Mary and Martha, and somebody says, "Hey, listen, well, you know, because I could be more of a Mary than Martha," what does that mean? And it wasn't time for that question and answer. If it's on topic and it's an outburst, something that wasn't expected, then what you want to do is you want to acknowledge. You always want to acknowledge that person speaking, affirm their feelings. Okay, hey, I'm sorry you're feeling that way. Okay, and I want to ask that you do this quickly, okay, but in love. Okay, because sometimes people's feelings manifest in different ways. Some of them could take 10 seconds to say their feelings. Some of them could take 10 hours to say their feelings. So let's make sure that we affirm them. We say, hey, listen, I'm sorry that you're feeling that way, and do it quickly. Don't let them get off or get into their spiel or whatever too long. We need to make sure that we're doing that once again in love, okay? And if the question is on topic, then go ahead and feel free to answer it. It's okay to answer that question. Or if you're like me, you don't always know the answers, okay? So you could tell the rest of the group, okay, guys, what do you all think? Well, what does the rest of the group think? And if they don't know the answer, say, you know what? Well, we can definitely find out, and next meeting, we'll go ahead and get that answer, okay? So once again, you don't have to know the answer. The group doesn't have to know the answer, and we don't have to answer it that night. It's okay to follow up, then get with your coach, get with me, or get whoever you can get with to go ahead and try to figure out that answer, okay? So now, if the issue or question or whatever's come up is off topic, well, that's a whole other issue. Once again, if you guys are talking about community outreach, and all of a sudden somebody stands up and says that they're contemplating suicide, or their teenager try to run away the other night, well, obviously those are two different topics right there. You still want to acknowledge them. You still want to affirm them, okay? And then this is the difference right here. And then you'll ask them, hey, listen, is there any way? It's a great question. Okay, I'm sorry that's going on right now. Is there any way that we could chat offline after group? And the reason why is, and you tell them this. Tell them, listen, I want to give you the time that this issue deserves. Okay? And right now, with what we're doing here, is not enough time to give you the proper time that it takes to go ahead and talk about this. So if I could ask you, let's go ahead and meet after group or during the week or whatever, so we can go ahead and address that. Okay. Now, if the situation requires immediate attention, I mean, somebody's just falling apart right there in front of the group. Well, this is where your co-host or your sub-host, remember that's something that we talked about at the beginning of the semester, make sure that we raise up somebody who could potentially be the new host or a next host. Now, as you're training these people, that's going to be part of that planning that we talk about, and say, and then you all have some kind of signal, some kind of, hey, or they already know because you all have pre-planned it. If something like that happens and it's an immediate, something needs to be dealt with right then and there, they can come up to them quietly and gently, and they can pull them aside, either go outside, go in the garage, wherever that's away from the group, and it won't cause that distraction anymore. Okay? Once again, I know it's much easier said than done, but the more we plan and prepare for this stuff, the better. And of course, now when that happens, make sure, once again, and if you can't resolve their issues that night, that's okay. Okay, don't put that pressure on yourself, because I could assure you, whatever that issue is, didn't happen in that 1 hour that they were there. It's probably been weeks, months, and maybe even years that's come up to that point. Now, one thing, what to do after the night's gone, they're calmed down, they're feeling better now that they're able to share, and maybe y'all pray with them during or after the group. I'm not sure. Now, very key thing, and please listen to this. Very key thing is that before the next group meeting, make sure that you meet with them. Okay, whether one-on-one, over the phone, whatever it is, take 10-15 minutes and sit down. First of all, check on them. Hey, how are you doing on this issue right there? Pray with them, and then gently remind them, hey, listen, we understand that you're going through this, and trust me, we want to go through it with you. And remind them, hey, maybe during group time is not the best time, because once again, it's not enough time to go ahead and give them that proper time that they need for that issue. And so remind them that there's pastors that can counsel with them. You could meet with them if you have the time. Coaches, I mean, there's so many people out there that are more than willing to sit down with them, or maybe they need a professional counselor. I don't know. So once again, but make sure you do that before the next meeting, because if this is something that they did, obviously they felt that it was okay, and it wasn't a malicious way. They just wanted to know, the people that they trust, what's going on in their lives. But if they understand, hey, listen, I need more time than the next 20-30 minutes in group time, let me wait and go from there. So that way that's resolved and that's understood until the next meeting. Okay? So and make sure that you let them know their issue is very important. Once again, see if they need any kind of counseling with a pastor or whatever. We are here for that as well. So now we know that these few things that we discussed doesn't cover all the issues. I know that, okay? And but if you're faced with a situation, a tough situation, okay, as soon as you can, if it's something, you know what, this is way beyond me, okay, this is so beyond me, I have no idea, I'm not trained for this, then that's where, once again, get with your coach, get with me, okay? We are here for you. We are here to go ahead and make sure that this is something that's going to help you. We don't want you to feel that burden, okay? Come to your coach, come to me. We are here for that. So, lastly, okay, last thing. Keep in mind that the enemy's plan, okay, is for your group not to prosper or even meet. Okay? That's his plan. And he'll use these things to make you feel like you're not a good enough leader, or that you didn't prepare enough, or that you shouldn't be leading the group, okay? That's absolutely false, okay? We trust you. We trust you to be in that group in this season. Remember that. And more importantly, God's called you to that. So when you let the enemy question that means that you're questioning him on that as well. Don't do that to yourself, okay? We're all imperfect. It happens to all of us, okay? Now remember, his goal is to distract, deceive, dislocate, and destroy. It's the same thing with your group. He wants to do that with your group, okay? And we thank you. We can't thank you enough. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for doing all that you can do, all that you do to sacrifice and to make sure that everybody in your group feels welcome, valued, and cared for. Have a great week. We'll see you on Sunday.